All right, all right, all right. Let's get those thumbs up, family. Let's get those thumbs up. Let's share the live. Y'all know we about to get it in. Huh? We about to get it in. All right, all right, all right. Let's get those thumbs up, family. Let's get those thumbs up. Let's share the live. Y'all know we about to get it in. Huh? We about to get it in. Let's get those thumbs up, family. Let's get those thumbs up. Let's get it in, guys. Let's get it in. Share the live. Share the live. Share the live, family. Share the live stream. Let's get it in. Share the live stream, family. Let's get it in. We're going to have some fun today. Powerful film review and a powerful film indeed. What a powerful film. What a powerful film. I watched the film twice already. What a powerful film. Wow, my God. What a powerful film, man. What a powerful film. What a powerful film. Let's get it in, family. Share the live. Thumb up the video. Thumb up the video, family, please. Thumb up the video and share the live. Share it on your live stream. I'm hoping that I'm not just saying it. I'm hoping that the community could definitely help to support. Share the live. I watched this twice already. What a hell of a movie, boy. What a hell of a movie, man. We think we know stuff till we find out. You think we know stuff till we find out. But what a hell of a movie, man. What a hell of a movie. What a hell of a movie, man. If you guys enjoyed, if you watch Judas and the Black Messiah, I want you to put some fire emojis in the room. If you already watched the movie Judas and the Black Messiah, I want you to put some fire emojis in the room. Light the room up, family. If you've seen this before, light the room up, family. If you've seen this movie, light the room up. If you went to the movies to see it, light the room up with some fire emojis. You took your family, light the room up with some fire emojis. Huh? Huh? What a powerful movie, man. Thoroughly enjoyed this movie. Thoroughly enjoyed this movie. And I had the added special pleasure. Of actually knowing face to face, many, many years, the director of this film, Shaka King. We'll be speaking on that in a couple moments. There was an added pleasure in me watching this movie because I'm watching someone that I know from childhood become extremely successful damn near overnight. And that was a beautiful thing to see, man. It's a beautiful thing to see people you know from the grain. To make it, man. People you know from the grain to make it. That was so powerful. You know, the fact that I was able to also say that I know this individual. I know this individual who is the director of the film. Wow, man. Shout out to you, Shaka. Shout out to you. And I only know Shaka because of my cousin. Shout out to Terrence. Shout out to my cousin, Terrence Harris, my first cousin. His father and my father are brothers. Shout out to you, Terrence. I see you. Maroon Sounds Unlimited. I actually pinned his comment up on the screen. He is Maroon Sounds Unlimited. That is my cousin. Same exact age. We're both born in 1979. I hope you don't mind me mentioning our age, cuz. I hope you don't mind me mentioning our age, cuz. But at our age, that is something to definitely be proud of. So I know the director of this film, Shaka King, through my cousin, Terrence Harris. So shout out to you, Terrence, man. Look at all the years of hard work, man. Look at all the years of hard work, and look what everybody's doing, man. Look what everybody's doing, cuz. Look what you're doing. You know, look what I'm doing. Look at what Shaka is doing. Look at what Rod's is doing all the way in Quaidar. The brother actually moved to Quaidar in the Middle East, and he's popping right now. So many people in our immediate circles have done some amazing things and are continuing to do some amazing things. Also, shout out to my younger cousin Travis Harris, who is a videographer for BET. Shout out to my younger cousin Travis Harris, who's a videographer for BET. Also, want to shout out another cousin of mine who is the cameraman behind Drink Champs, who is the cameraman behind Drink Champs, created by Nori, Nore. Nori. Very famous podcast right now, Drink Champs. Shout out to Drink Champs and shout out to my cousin, who is one of the videographers, one of the cameramen for Drink Champs. I salute all you gentlemen. You're doing great work. All of you gentlemen, you're doing great work. But make no mistake about it, guys. I thoroughly enjoyed watching this movie, boy. Thoroughly enjoyed watching this movie. HBO Max. For those asking where can you see it, you could go straight to HBO Max. You want to watch the movie live? Go right to HBO Max. Go right to HBO Max. It's also in select theaters. It's also in select theaters. So go and catch it at your neighborhood theater. Go and watch it at your neighborhood theater. Take the family, take your friends. Powerful, man. Powerful. Powerful. Huh? Powerful. What you guys think about the movie? Throw some comments in the chat room. Before we get in, throw some comments in the chat room. Tell me what you guys liked about the movie. What did you like about the movie? What was powerful for you about this movie? What was powerful for you about this movie? Tell us why you enjoyed this movie. Tell us why you like this movie. What was so great about this movie for you? Put that in the comment section for us, family. What was so great about this movie for you? I could tell you that one of the things that was so great for the movie, for me, was the message that I was able to take away from the overall movie. The message that I'm able to take away from the overall movie, because we still have agent provocateurs among us. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Might be one of those afternoons where I'm in rare form. Just know that. Might be one of those afternoons where I'm in rare form. Just know that. I'm coming to really, really bring it today. I'm coming to really, really bring it today. This movement gave me impetus to really go in, boy. This movie gave me impetus to really, really go in, boy. What a powerful movie, man. The acting was great. The script was amazing. And it was very accurate. It was very, very accurate. Shout out to all those who took part in the making of the film. Shout out to all of those who took part in the making of the film. You have some people already saying they don't like it. They didn't like the film. I'm not sure what that means. I'm not sure what that means. You don't like the film? The film was an amazing film. You mean you don't like the outcome? That's what you really want to say. We have to be careful with our choice of language when we're going on social media. I have seen some people say they don't like the film, when I know what you really mean to say is you don't like the outcome. You really wish things would have went different. That's what you want to say. So you need to find a better way to say it, because as far as the film is concerned, it was a hell of a film. It was an epic film. Sham says, I enjoyed it because of the history of the struggle that we still fight today. I would love to see a movie based on the El Rukins and Jeff Fort. Yep, me too. Me too. Me too. Many of my teachers are very well familiar with that history. Many of my teachers are very, very well familiar with that history. I would love to see that too. That brother David that played him very well, warrior spirit, and the strength of the sister. Fred's fiance was very strong. Absolutely, Bonita. Absolutely. Kevin Powell said a lot of things bothered me, but when they shot the apartment up and then went in the room to make sure Fred was dead, upset me much. His child's mother had to witness it, shaking my head. Absolutely. That's a fact. I like the love affair between Deborah and Fred. They had a ride or die relationship that was about building the power of the people. Absolutely. Then I want you to think about her name. Her name is Deborah. Huh? We don't know no Deborah in scripture to be anything less than a warrior princess, huh? We don't know the name Deborah to be anything less than a warrior princess. So says the Bible. So says the Bible. What a powerful movie this was, man. Again, asking everybody to thumb up the video and share the live. Thumb up the video and share the live, family. Another comment said it was very transparent. The movie was very transparent. Yep. Sure was. Yep. Sure was. Extremely transparent, I want to say. Extremely transparent, I want to say. Absolutely, man. What a dope movie. I really, really enjoyed this piece of history. It's powerful. It's something that our children need to see because we live in an era where we don't have strong men and women. We have a few strong men and women. We do not have many. We do not have many. Therefore, we definitely would love to see this movie inspire the younger generation among us. Because pay attention, check the record. How old was Fred Hampton when he was assassinated by the FBI and the Chicago Police Department? He was 21 years old. Look at what he was able to accomplish by 21 years old. There are people right now who are 41 years old, 51 years old, 61 years old, 71 years old, 81 years old, 91 years old, God damn it, 101 years old, and still didn't galvanize the minds of the people, the bodies of the people, and the spirit of the people, all in the name of liberation. Huh? And he did that at 21 years old. And in his words, you can murder a revolutionary, but you cannot murder the revolution. You can murder a freedom fighter, but you cannot murder freedom. Oh, we're going to have fun with this one this evening. Oh, we're going to have fun with this one this evening. We're going to definitely have fun with this on this evening, man. This was so powerful. This was so powerful. And again, I want to make something really clear. In fact, I'm going to show you guys something. One of the things that made this movie especially special for me, and I know that's a long word, right? Especially special. One of the things that made this movie especially special for me was the fact that through my cousin, who's the same age as I and who also is in the chat room right now, I actually know the director of the film, Shaka King. And I known him for many years because of my cousin. They went to college together and they know each other a very, very long time. And I watched them struggle in their craft, perfect it, and make it work for them. So to watch Shaka, although he has put out movies in the past, I want to clearly say that this movie definitely put him over the top. This is not his first time in the big screen. He's actually made a couple of movies. He has a movie called Newlyweds. He has a movie called Newlyweds. And the movie did pretty well. It landed him an interview on The Breakfast Club. Shaka King's very first interview was on The Breakfast Club. Right? Shout out to the Dugout. I see you, Terrence. Shout out to the Dugout. Let me show y'all something right here. Let me give y'all a little history. Let me show you something right here. Let me give y'all just a little bit of history. Let's show you something right here. This is my cousin. Terrence Harris. This is him here on the left. And this is the director of Judas and the Black Messiah. This is Shaka King. Great history here. I have known Shaka King, I want to say, since I was Terrence? 17 when you introduced me to Shaka? When I went up to Vassar College and, those couple of times that I came to your college. How old were we, Terrence? 17? How old were we, Terrence? 17 years old? Bring me back to speed. I don't know. We 41 right now. I forgot exactly how old I was. But how old was I, Terrence, when you introduced me to Shaka? How old was I? Put it in the chat room, Terrence, so I could shout that out real quick. I definitely want to give the brother great credit as I go in. Definitely at least 20 years now. Facts. At least 20 years. At least 20 years. At least 20 years. And again, my cousin knows him even longer than I. And Shaka always been to me, just like my cousin, by the way. Some of you who know me, you know I like to brag about my cousin. The humility that I've seen in this director, in Shaka, is amazing. The humility that I've seen in this man is amazing. He is a very, very humble guy. I have no doubt that he can take the pressure of Hollywood, meaning it won't get to his head. I have no doubt that he can take the pressure of Hollywood, meaning that it will not get to his head. So I want to say shout out to you again, Terrence, and also shout out to Shaka. This is an amazing piece of history. It's different. It's a different experience when you're going to the big screen and someone you know is on the big screen. It's a different experience when you're going to the big screen and someone you personally know produced the movie that is featured on the big screen. So again, for me, this movie in particular is so powerful because it doesn't just come from a powerful black mind that I have no experience with, but it comes from a powerful black mind that I've sat in the same room with for many different occasions. And he also hails from Brooklyn, New York. And my cousin hails from Harlem, New York City. My cousin hails from Harlem, New York City. And he's in the chat room right now, so you guys could give him a salute too. Salute to you, Maroon Sounds Unlimited. And by the way, anybody in the B-More area, anybody in the DMV area that would like to do any Zoom parties, you can hit up my cousin directly, Maroon Sounds Unlimited. He does a lot of online Zoom parties. He's a legit DJ. He's also a very, very astute career man and a family man. Absolutely. You're right. Shaka is definitely one of the most humble brothers you'd ever know. That's a fact. But don't sleep. Because Shaka also from Brooklyn. So don't get all that humility twisted. Don't run up on Shaka the wrong way. Might be an issue. Don't run up on him in the wrong way. I said he humble, but I ain't say he was no kitten. I said he's humble, but I ain't say he was a kitten. That's a lion. All right, man. So let me go into my first slide. Just before I go into my first slide, again, I'm going to ask everyone to thumb up the video and share the live. If you here, you should put a like up. Like the video, family. You here? What else we doing? Click like. Here we go. All right. Where do I want to be? All right, here we go. All right. So again, this particular film was so powerful for me, not just because it spoke to the true history of the chairman of the Black Panther Party, Fred Hampton, but also because I happen to also know the director, so it was a powerful movie for me. And I want to say that all of the cast members, all of the stars, Daniel Kaluuya, Lakeith Stanfield, they did amazing jobs. With respect to the movie. And we have to remember, guys, put yourself back in the movie. Remember the voice, the sound of Daniel Kaluuya playing Fred Hampton. Y'all know he's from the UK, right? So that's not his accent. When you go and you watch the brother do interviews, you get to hear him in his real voice. I love the way how he can come out of his accent and play these roles that are American-based with such ease. You almost can't even tell that he's from the UK. You know, the UK has a heavy England or British accent, but Daniel Kaluuya plays the hell out of these roles to the extent that you probably couldn't even tell. So shout out to Daniel Kaluuya as well. We'll be focusing on him in a couple more moments, man. But Brooklyn did it again, baby. Brooklyn has done it again, baby. Watch this. Here's what I want to say right now. Watch this. Let me make my screen a little bigger. And let's do this. All right. Shaka King, who co-wrote the script with Bill Burson, has been working on a version of this story. Matter of fact, I want to blow it up so you guys could see more of it. Matter of fact, I think y'all could blow y'all screen up. I'm going to keep it where it is right now. So I'm going to have you guys blow your screen up. Shaka King, who co-wrote the script with Will Burson, has been working on a version of this story since at least 2016. Knows his subject well enough to imbue it with confident, emotional complexity and an irresistible visual swagger. Cinematographer Sean Bobbitt, shout out to Sean, best known for his work with Steve McQueen, brings an agile, intimate sweep to shots that, again, owe more than a little to Sorcy's cracking kineticism. Plus, Mark Isham and Craig Harris score an arresting mix of discordant jazz horns, foot-stomping percussion, and sudden, sternum-shaking music cues could practically be a character in its own right. Let's talk about the soundtrack, huh? Let's talk about that soundtrack. There's a lot of wisdom and brilliance that goes into the crafting of a film. There's a lot of brilliance. There's a lot of wisdom. There's a lot of tact. There's a lot of poise. There's a lot of thought. There's a lot of depth of thought that goes into the crafting of a film, the making of a film. Put some fire emojis in the chat room for that soundtrack. What? And to Terrence, since you in the room right now, I want to say this to you, Maroon Sounds. Since you in the room right now, Terrence Maroon Sounds, I want to say this to you. Listening to the soundtrack felt like we was in the dugout, bro. Listening to the soundtrack felt like we was in the dugout. In fact, I started to call you like, yo, is this one of the tracks that you was working on in the dugout? I started to call you like, yo, cuz, is this one of the tracks? I'm not sure. I don't know. But I know that the vibe gave me a dugout vibe. I know the vibe gave me a dugout vibe. It made me feel like the days when we was back in Flatbush, Brooklyn, or Crown Heights. We on Dean Street. We on Dean Street, the dugout, right? We're going to reminisce right now, Terrence. We're going to reminisce, We got my cousin Terrence putting together the music, the producer, the engineer, also the rapper, We got my man Keith, We got my man Keith rhyming. We got the whole dugout cast, man, the whole dugout cast. And it was there outside of the college setting that I saw Shaka so many times as well. So again, man, as I'm listening to the soundtrack of the music and I'm watching the film, I feel like the director is there with me, because I had many moments with the director of the film and my cousin where we're listening to similar music in the early 2000s as they're beginning to build their craft and expand their brand. So again, for me, the movie was amazing, man. But let's go on. Film writers and directors do not get enough credit that they deserve. Film writers and directors do not get enough credit that they deserve. What I want to point out in this moment is when we speak of someone as a film director, people get the simple impression that the person is just holding the camera and recording, and that's their job. The film director, who sometimes is also a writer or a co-writer, which in this case, Shaka is both. He is the director of the film and a co-writer. They are intimately involved, not just with the writing of the film, not just with the directing of the film, but even with the portrayal of the acting in the film. So I have scenery on the screen right now. I have scenes from the movie that actually show you Shaka King working hand in hand with the actors. And as you can see, clearly they're following a script in the way that he wants it to be portrayed. So we give the actors the credits that they deserve. And I promise you, Daniel Kaluuya is a hell of an actor. I promise you, he gets the credit that he deserves. But I got to say this. Shout out to my brother Akiva, by the way. Nasi Akiva. He came through the dugout several times. Shout out to you, Izzy Gets Busy. I see you in the chat room. Shout out to you, Izzy Gets Busy. That's also the brother that awakened my eyes to the Israelite movement. That's also the brother that awakened my eyes to the Israelite movement. Shout out to you, Izzy Gets Busy. Had not the Creator used you 27 years ago and your family, I possibly would not even be on the live right now, brother. I possibly may not even be on the live right now, brother. So shout out to you, Izzy Gets Busy. So what I want to say is, if we don't understand the dynamics of film directing, we're really losing out on a lot. Because in order for these actors to give it their best, it is in part that they're working with the writers. Remember, the writer has the vision. And in this case, it's based on a real story. So the writer's vision will not be drastically different from the real story, but the writer has a vision for how he wants the story to act out on the big screen. The writer has a vision for how he wants the story to be acted out on the big screen. So I think this is powerful to see. This is a powerful moment. And then look at this. These are two black men working together. This is not something that occurs every day in Hollywood. We are reinventing the wheel in these moments in history. We are reinventing the wheel in these moments in history. This is not something that occurs every day in Hollywood. This is black excellence that we're looking at. This is black history that we're looking at. Hence, look at the time the movie dropped. We are quite literally witnessing black excellence, and we are quite literally witnessing black history in this moment. This is another scenery. This is another scenery. Well, clearly, the two are working together to bring about the vision of the movie. You have the film director, Shaka King, bringing out the, talking with Daniel Kaluuya. And again, once again, you can literally see how the vision of the writer, the vision of the film director, and then the brilliance of the actor are coming together to make for such a great movie, Family, make sure you got this video thumbed up, family, and make sure you're sharing the live. Let's go on. And I got to give props to the FBI agent, the guy who plays Roy Mitchell. Wow. Because the reality is, he played that role so well, I feel like they grabbed him directly from the FBI or CIA. Put some fire emojis in the room if you know what I'm saying is accurate and sound right now. This white guy, and my apologies that I can't call his name because I do want to give him respect, but I don't know his name offhand like that. So if anybody does know the name of this white actor on the screen right now, please put it on the chat room. That way I can mention it and give him his props as well. But what I want to say is he played the role of the FBI agent who was helping the agent Provocateur, Lakeith Stanfield. He played that role so damn well. I felt like he had some experience with the CIA or the FBI. I feel like he had some experience with the CIA and the FBI. And again, much respect to Brother Shaka, because in this moment, you get to see, guys, all of the elements that come together to make for such a great film. We all think that these actors deserve all the credit, but I'm giving you a glimpse into filmmaking. I'm giving you a glimpse into how a movie is shot. I've been on the set of many films. I've been on the set of many video shoots. In fact, I've been on the set of more video shoots than I have been on the set of films, but I have been on the set of films and I have been on the set of several video shoots. And I could tell you, the people you actually see on camera, to their credit, they do a great job. But I want you to also know there are other stars that put together the film or that put together the video shoot. And those stars are your directors. Those stars are your makeup person. Those stars are the people who come together to make the movie powerful. Jesse Plemons. Yes, this white guy. Let me not say this white guy. That's not politically correct. The actor Jesse Plemons did a hell of a role playing the FBI agent who was used to come in and introduce an element of disarray to the Black Panther Party. He did an amazing job. And I think this goes without being said. I think this goes without being said. Lakeith Stanfield, my God, he played an amazing role. Now, you know, because his role was a villain, because he goes against the Black Panther Party, which means he goes against Black America. You know, Black America is not going to like him too much because of the role. But sometimes you got to remind people that he's just the actor. He's not the guy, you know, William O'Neill. He's not William O'Neill, and we'll get to William O'Neill in a moment. But he did an amazing job. He did an amazing job with this film. He did an amazing job because you got to see not just the intricate part that the real person, William O'Neill, played in the dismantling of the Black Panther Party under Fred Hampton, but you also got to see the psychology and the spiritual temperament of the man. And I'm not sure who Lakeith Stanfield had to sit down with to get this role so perfect, but I want to say he was definitely speaking to the right people, because he clearly gave you that psychological disarray, that psychological element that had to have been going through the mind of William O'Neill. Remember, William O'Neill did not really want to do this. This was entrapment. They had him for a previous crime. And they offered him a way out. But the problem is, the way out to your problem, Black America, the way out to your problems, Black people, is not selling out the collective body. You are better off killing yourself. You damn right I'm going to say it with that much strength. The solution to any issue that you have in the world in a matter of the courts of law is not to sell out your people. You'd be better off taking your own life. Because at least people would consider you a martyr to the movement. But this individual goes down now in history as the resurrection of Judas Iscariot. William O'Neill, the agent provocateur, he now goes down in history because of his ill-advised and ill-played move. He now goes down as the resurrection of Judas Iscariot. And yes, Tiffany, yes. Shout out to my cousin Tiffany, also in the chat room as well. Yes, Tiff, it's a fact. He was even young too. That's a fact. Let me tell you, man, there's a lot that goes through with this, man. There's a lot that, you know, is involved with the brilliance of this film, and what I want to say, the success of this film. The success of this film is because all of the elements of filmmaking were married so perfectly in this film. Like, you could not like the outcome of the real history, which none of us, you know, like. We all hate the fact that Fred Hampton was assassinated. We all hate the fact that he was murdered, in fact, in witness of his wife and his soon-to-be child. We all dislike the fact that, you know, his unborn baby was almost a witness to the crime, because his unborn baby is in his mother's womb at the time and hour of his father's death. But one thing you will admit is that the elements of this movie was successful because it married everything that happened in real life. So I opened up the very first part of our commentary by bringing you guys to understand that the success of a film is not simply in the acting, but it's in all qualities of filmmaking coming together to make for such an amazing experience. Let's move on. I want to talk about the origin story, and then we're going to go to Fred Hampton. I'm going to make this as fast as possible. The 6 original Black Panther Party for Self-Defense members. This shot or photo is from November 1966, exactly 1 month after the founding. These are the very first 6 members of the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense. And from top left to right, it is Elbert Big Man Howard, Huey P. Newton, Sherman Fort, Chairman Bobby Seale, and the bottom, Reggie Forte and Little Bobby Hutton. Reggie Forte and Little Bobby Hutton. The Black Panther Party, Maroon Sounds, Terrence says, they struck a great balance between presenting the facts and crafting a movie that Hollywood could digest. Lots of gems in the writing. I salute that. Absolutely. I salute that. Absolutely. That's a fact. That's a fact. That is a fact. Here's what I want to say in commentary right now in this moment. A lot of us want to do better for the community. A lot of us want to be numbered as those who have a role in shaping and molding Black liberation on some front, on some level. But the biggest fear that we tend to have is that we don't find too many like-minded people who are truly committed and willing to go all the way in that resolve, who are truly committed and willing to go all the way in that resolve. So what happens? A lot of powerful people never really get to act on the Godfidence. A lot of powerful people never get to really act on the natural Godfidence, that God-conscious confidence that we're birthed with. Because of their fear, they never got to act on it. You know how many powerful liberations we could have had in this country? Or if it's even possible, we could have experienced the ultimate liberation, which is true liberation. A liberation that after it's fought, we need not fight anymore. Simply because there are some who are feared that once I take up the sword, that once I get on the front line, how many people are going to be as committed as myself? Well, what I want to say to you guys is, look at the history on the screen right now. Notice that the Black Panther Party grows to such impressive size and scale and numbers and even demographics. Because let's talk about some of the non-Black people that, grafted themselves onto the movement as well. They expanded so much that they had chapters in every urban city in this country. They even had Black Panther Party chapters throughout the Caribbean. They had Black Panther Party chapters in South America. This is no joke. No joke. It's even reported because the guy who actually armed the Black Panthers, whose name is Ayoko, the guy who actually armed the Black Panthers is an Asian by the name of Ayoko. Because of him, there were Black Panther chapters in various parts of Asia. And it began with 6 people. So don't tell me I don't know if we can do this, because how many people are down? With 6 people, they inspired a global movement damn near. With 6 people, they inspired a global movement damn near. Let's talk about Huey P. Newton. And let's talk about this chair that everybody got in their house at some point. Huh? Let's talk about this chair. Don't think I'm going to let y'all escape, Tiffany and Terrence. Don't think I'm going to let y'all escape, because y'all definitely had this chair as well. A lot of Black families had this chair, boy. This is the chair of African chiefhood. This is the chair that, matter of fact, I'm not sure why I'm calling it a chair, because this is a whole African throne right here. And many of us had this chair in our house or had family members who had this chair in their house. So shout out to my cousins on the live right now, Maroon Sounds and Tiffany. This is the African throne chair. You sit in this chair, you're going to go on to do great things in life. You sit in this chair, you're going to go on to do great things in life. Y'all saw what happened in the movie Wakanda. You saw what happened in the movie Wakanda. He sat in that chair And he went on to do great things in life. Let me tell you, boy, it's something about this chair. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I know for a fact, everybody I personally know that sat in a chair like that, they went on to do great things in life. That's what I know. I don't know. I don't know. But they say an image and a picture is worth 1,000 words. They say an image and a picture is worth 1,000 words. I want you to look at the imagery on the screen. Just focus on the sheer imagery on the screen. Notice that Huey P. Newton is sitting on an African-styled chair, which is really styled as a throne. The chair was meant to emulate many of the thrones throughout West African cultures. The chair was designed to emulate many of the thrones throughout West African cultures. So this imagery is powerful. You can see the Zulu, listen to me, you can see the Zulu shields to the left and right of him, to the left and right rear of him. And you also can see in his left hand, he's holding an African spear. And in his right hand, he's holding a gun. Let me tell you guys something. In pictorial art, everything means something. In pictorial art, everything means something. Most people in the world are righties. Shout out to my parents, however, who are both lefties. But most people in the world are righties. So notice that he's holding the rifle with his right hand, which is probably his hand of strength. He's more than likely a righty. But notice that he's holding the African spear in his left hand. And I need you to note that in pictorial art, whether we're talking about ancient history, history of antiquity, or contemporary history, the left side is always indicative of the heart, as it is proximal to your heart, because your heart mainly leans towards the left hemisphere of your body. So in pictorial art, when there is any gesture with the left hand, it signifies the heart. So I want you to notice that the African spear is in the hand that is indicative of his heart. And the rifle is in his right hand, which is, he's probably a righty, his shooting hand. And he's sitting on a West African style throne. What is the overall picture saying? I'm not sure if you're getting it. I think some of y'all just thought he took a dope picture in a nice leather jacket, holding a spear and holding a rifle. But he's showing us we are most powerful when we are in tune with our culture. He is showing us through the imagery, through the art, we are most powerful when we are in tune within the confines of our culture. That's what this picture is supposed to represent. You are your most powerful when you are locked and loaded with the thought, idea, and spiritual expressions of your culture. Do not forsake your culture. Do not forsake your heritage. We live in a land that tried to replace every part of our heritage and our culture. They took away our names and they called us Sambo. They took away our culture and gave us their religious attire. They took away our ideas of spirituality and gave us their Eurocentric views. And they use all of that to colonize our mind. They use all of that to colonize our mind. But Huey P. Newton, Bobby Seals, and many of the Africans of the liberation movement, which began in this country with the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey, they showed us the way. We are at our strongest. We are at our best when we can connect with those ideas which made us great, with those truths that made us great, with those physical and spiritual expressions of culture that the world moreover borrows in order for them to replicate that greatness. There is no European monarch. There is no European kingdom. There is no European nation state or culture that is considered great today that is not patterned after African cultures on the continent of which I include Israel, which is Northeast Africa. You better know that, people. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. This is a powerful moment for us, family. He is holding the African spear, which is distal to his heart, and he is holding the rifle in his right hand, and he is sitting on an African-styled chair, which is a West African-style throne. These images are powerful. Make sure you're taking them in. This is a direct quote from Huey P. Newton that I'm going to read. He says, "The racist dog policemen must withdraw immediately from our communities. Cease their wanton murder and brutality and torture of Black people, or face the wrath of the armed people." You can't even say that, hung over on your chair. You can't make such a statement lollygagging and sagging in your chair. You can only speak like that when you have a backbone. You can only speak like this when you have a backbone, back erect, strong. Where are our strong backboned men? Where are our strong men of power, not of word, but of power, who are unafraid to speak truth to power? Huh? We over here dying over colors. We over here dying over colors while people who murder our own are walking the streets freely. Let's talk about this powerful Black man. Let's talk about this powerful Black man. You damn right, Bonita, the testicular fortitude. Because where are the men with testicular fortitude? This is a powerful Black man. Bobby Seale. Bobby Seale, the co-founder of the Black Panther Party. Some people refer to Bobby Seale as the brain of the movement, but I think that takes away from the intelligence level of Huey P. Newton. I don't like to divide and conquer our ancestors in that way. So what I want to say is that they're the best of both worlds. I want to say that they're the best of both worlds. We can't all do everything, but these two together represented the best of both worlds. The Black Panther Party supplemented movements and programs in this country, which became the inspiration for many of the programs later replicated by the powers that be in America. We did a lecture a couple of months back on the origins of the African liberation movement, which began in this country with Marcus Messiah Garvey. And when that happened, what we said as clear as day is that because of the huge parades that Marcus Garvey kept annually in the streets of Harlem, and he did this for a week straight, 7 days straight annually. But that wasn't the highlight of the gathering. Marcus Garvey would call ambassadors of all of the African nation states, from all of the darker peoples of the world, for them all to meet and converge in Harlem behind closed doors. The parades were for the people, but the real reason why these leaders were in town was not to shake their honeypots, was not to shake their behind, but to have closed meetings behind closed doors on the affairs concerning the estate of the darker peoples of the world who are oppressed by non-colored people. And don't you know, family, even though he does not get the credit for this, the formation of the United Nations, the idea of having representatives from all parts of the globe as ambassadors that can convene annually, that can convene weekly, or that they can convene consistently. This country got the impetus and the idea from the meetings that Marcus Garvey held in Harlem annually with ambassadors of African nation states and the darker peoples of the globe. They sat and listened to many of these meetings, and they realize the wisdom in even conceiving the idea, and then they go on and they create the United Nations. This day in Black history, February 14th, because I don't know, I heard somebody was calling it Valentine's Day. I'm not sure what that's about. But in this day in Black history, February 14th, you should know that the United Nations owes its intellectual formation, owes its physical foundation laying to the man we know as Marcus Mosiah Garvey. That's right, cuz Maroon Sound says, Huey had a PhD in philosophy. We can't sleep. All facts. He had a PhD in philosophy. Don't sleep. All facts. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for that. All right. The Black Panther Party, every morning, thousands of Black children were fed by the free breakfast program of the Black Panthers. It emphasized that breakfast was the most important meal of the day and made sure no child went hungry. It emphasized that breakfast was the most important meal of the day and that no child would go hungry. All of us, and I know this includes, I know I can speak for myself, but all of you who know for a fact you received free breakfast in school as a child, you better show your love and respect to the Black Panther Party and the divine source of it all, the creator working through them, working with them to see that that's possible. I ate free lunch for many years, but hold on, because y'all don't hear me. Because when I say I ate free lunch, I'm not just talking about school hours. I'm keeping it 1,000 with you. My family sent me to the school even during the summer for free lunch. Oh yeah, we also went to school during the summer when there's no school to get free lunch. Where do you think America got the idea? The Black Panther Party. The Black Panther Party said, we are going to supplement programs in the community where we are going to take care of our community, because that's where liberation begins. Liberation begins with the idea of self-sufficiency. Liberation begins with the very idea of self-sufficiency. You cannot speak of true liberation if you are not entertaining the idea of becoming self-sufficient. We cannot depend on others, yet simultaneously speak about liberating ourselves. Imagine liberating the body and still being incarcerated in mind. By the way, that's exactly what's occurring right now, because we are, quote unquote, liberated in body. Yeah, you could go free to go wherever you want, but we are incarcerated in mind. Imagine being liberated in body and being incarcerated in mind and really thinking at the end of the day that you're free. Imagine being liberated in body and incarcerated in mind and actually thinking that you are free. Yeah, you free. You free to be dumb. Yeah, you're free. You're free to be dumb. Because the real liberation is liberation in mind. Stop allowing the oppressor to incarcerate your mind. Stop allowing the oppressor to colonize your mind. Repopulate your mind with those ideas that your ancestors birthed. Repopulate your mind with the culture of your ancestors. In the words of the scriptures, come out of her, my people. One of the most powerful elements within the Black Panther movement is how they incorporated the women within that movement. We don't really get this. We really don't get this. If you think the liberation of our people will happen with the men on the front lines and the women in the kitchen preparing the meals so that the men can be on the front lines, well, you will continue to be liberated in body and incarcerated in mind, thinking that you're free, but you're really just free to be dumb. Because if you don't know the full worth and value of the precious daughters of Zion, if you do not know the full worth and value of our precious women of the culture, you cannot enjoy liberation. There is no liberation apart from the involvement of all parts of the Black family. There is no liberation without the involvement in all parts of all of the Black family. You cannot keep the woman outside of the movement and then expect movement. You cannot keep the women outside of the movement and then expect movement. The Black Panther Party was so brilliant in their usage of all elements of the Black family, because even the children had a job too. But let's talk about these great women. Angela Davis. Let's talk about these great women. Kathleen Cleaver. Let's talk about these great women. Erica Huggins. Huh? Talk to me. Talk to me. And these are just a few. These are just a few. We have the right intention with the wrong ideas. We have the right intention with the wrong ideas. The right intention is to know that we need liberation. The wrong idea is to think that the Black woman is not inclusive in that pursuit. The right intention is to know that you need liberation. The wrong idea is to think that the Black woman is not inclusive in that movement. This breakfast program that the Black Panther produces throughout not just Oakland, California, and the urban streets of LA, but it goes through all parts of the major urban communities in America. They even initiate free breakfast programs in the Caribbean, in the South Americas, in the UK, in Canada, anywhere that you actually found Black Panther Party chapters. Shout out to Rose. You right, Rose. You right, Rose. There is no revolution without the women. Huh? Y'all better open up the book of Micah in the scriptures, where the Creator said, I sent Moses, Aaron, and Miriam to lead you out of Egypt. He said, I sent Moses, Aaron, and Miriam to lead you out of Egypt. God did not disallow women from the movement. God did not forget the women of the movement, so why do we? Let me show you the brilliance of what the Black Panther Party initiated. Because some people are possibly thinking, small-minded at that. I mean, what's the big deal? I mean, all right, they fed them breakfast, and then that inspired America to have free breakfast programs. Whoop-de-doo, what's so special about that? There was a lot more going on. They were not just simply feeding the children physically, but they were feeding them intellectually as well. Watch this. Here's a close-up. Here's a close-up at one of the Black Panther free breakfast programs. Here is a close-up of one of the Black Panther free breakfast programs. They are not simply feeding these children physically, but they are feeding them intellectually. Marcus Garvey is once quoted as saying, I'm not really here to speak to the older people, because most of you cannot be reached. Most of you are dead and beyond resurrection. But I'm here for the babies. I'm here for the future. Liberation does not simply begin when backboned men and women stand erect to speak truth to the power. But true liberation begins with the rearing up of the minds of our young children. And the Black Panther Party understood that perfectly. And they use the free breakfast program to carry out that endeavor. They use the free breakfast program to carry out that endeavor. Look at the table. There's free breakfast on the table, but it's a whole classroom going on because the free breakfast program was an intellectual ploy to feed the intellect and spirit of our young. And look at them. There are children in that picture that are holding their black fists more powerfully than men in their prime right now. There are children in this picture, in this image, who are holding their black fists with more power and authority than men in their prime right now. Rose said when the Black Panthers started this free lunch program, the government did everything to stop it, even tried to poison the food that was being given to the kids during the program. All facts. All facts. This is powerful information, family. Sham says the Tavistock Institute of Human Relations and Operations Mockingbird is what keeps most of our people blind. These are powerful imagery, family. Powerful imagery. And then I want you to zoom in on the picture. I want you to notice that the pictures on the wall, anybody ever seen the movie Spike Lee put out years ago, Do the Right Thing? Anybody ever seen the movie with Spike Lee, Do the Right Thing? Put some fire emojis in the room if you've seen Spike Lee's film before, Do the Right Thing. Put some fire emojis in the room if you've seen the movie before by Spike Lee, Do the Right Thing. Remember, there was a particular moment in the movie where I believe his name is Emilio Estevez, and I could be butchering his name. Remember, he's eating pizza in a pizza restaurant in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, the heart of Black Brooklyn, and he's looking around and he's like, y'all ain't got no black pictures in here? Huh? Where's the great black men? Huh? Where's the great black women? Huh? He said, I want to see some black people in here. I'm spending money, and I want to see my own. I'm spending money, and I want to see my own. Y'all need to hand up some pictures of great black people. With all the money we spending in here, I want to see pictures of great black people on the wall. Huh? I want to see black culture plastered on that wall. Or we're not spending another dollar in here. We're not spending another dollar in here until you get some black people featured on your wall. And remember, he was ready to tear that place up in the name of promoting black heritage and culture. He was ready to tear that place up in the name of promoting black heritage and culture. Look around the room. Look around the room, guys. Look around the room. Let me pull out some of my books, man. Let me go into the archives real quick. He said, where are the black people? He said, where are the black people? He said, where are the black people? Where are the black people? That's what he said. Where are the black people? Huh? This is the autobiography of Malcolm X, written by Alex Haley. My father named me after this man, Alex Haley. He's also the author of Roots. I want you to look at the pictures at the free breakfast program. I want you to look up at the pictures in the free breakfast program. And I need you to notice that when we are all sufficient in our endeavors, when we are in control of our enterprise, we don't got to fight about there ain't no brothers on the wall. We don't got to fight about there ain't no sisters on the wall. But when we are truly mindful of what liberation is, when we are truly locked in on the point that liberation is self-sufficiency, then we create our own enterprise and we put our own brothers and sisters on the wall. And that's what you see the Black Panther Party doing. And that was absolutely brilliant. Family, thumb up the video and share it live. Thumb up the video and share it live, because this is powerful. But as always, there is no gain without pain. There is no gain without pain. The government of the United States, of America, introduced with the rise of Black liberation organizations, they counter our efforts with a program called COINTELPRO. Which is not designed to foster Black liberation, which is not designed to aid or fuel Black liberation, but is designed to tear apart the very idea of Black liberation. I think you guys forgot the underlying premise of why America remains to be great. I think you guys forgot the underlying premise of why America remains to be great. And I don't really mean that America's great in terms of morality, so don't get me twisted. I don't mean that America is great in terms of her ethics, so don't get me twisted. But when I say that the underlying premise behind why America is still great, the greatness I speak of when I speak of America is the fact that she is the superpower of our day. But you need to forget that America only becomes a superpower once her foot is on the neck of Black America. America only became a superpower whilst her foot is on the neck of Black of America. America will only remain a superpower while her foot is on the neck of Black America. So yes, COINTELPRO rose up, because if Black liberation succeeds, America cannot be a superpower, period. Because the moment we go up, they go down. The moment we go up and they go down. And guess what? They have more faith in that idea than even we do. And that's crazy. They have more faith in that truth even more than we do. They understand that truth even more than we do. They understand that the day we get it right, they understand that the day we stand strong as a collective body of people, they know we go up and they go down. And the saddest part of that reality is that we don't even know it. Let's talk about the COINTELPRO papers. We're going to get back to the movie, but I need to really give you guys a beautiful and powerful backdrop so you can really understand what's going on. I need to give you guys a really beautiful and powerful backdrop so you can really understand what's going on. These are what is referred to as the COINTELPRO papers. These are documents from the FBI's secret war against dissent in the United States. Dissent, yeah, okay. It's entitled the COINTELPRO papers. COINTELPRO begins in September of 1968 with the FBI director then, J. Edgar Hoover, who described the Black Panthers as the greatest threat to the internal security of the country. I need you to understand this, because boy, we don't understand this. J. Edgar Hoover and the FBI observed that if black men and women are successful in raising their intellectual stature, the FBI understood that if black men or women are successful in galvanizing the minds, the hearts, and the spirits of the people, the FBI understood that if black men and women are successful in having their own backbone and not asking for the things they deserve, but fighting for the things they deserve and building the things that they deserve and preserving the things that are theirs, then J. Edgar Hoover and the FBI said, in that moment, they become the biggest threat to America. You need to understand something. If these people are truly for us, why is it that the day that we begin to stand and do for self, they are threatened by that? If this government is truly for us, why is it then that when we desire to stand for us, we become a threat to them? I'll tell you why. Because you were never truly liberated. You were never truly freed. Slavery is still going on. They released the body. Because if you can take the shackles physically off the arms and take the shackles physically from the neck and take the shackles and the restraints physically from the legs, but secure it even tighter around the mind so that it's bound to the spirit, you can tell that slave, go to Japan and have a vacation for 3 months straight. And the slave is so colonized in his mind that after leaving the struggle of America for 3 months straight with no restraints, the slave comes right back to his place of liberation. I'm speaking to us all right now. We know we face the greatest oppression imaginable right here. We know we can go on trips and go anywhere. We know we can live anywhere. But the shackles are so secure to our mind and so bound to our spirit that we will vacation in paradise but still choose to live in hell. That is because the shackle is secured even tighter around your mind and bound to your soul. COINTELPRO and the FBI. COINTELPRO stands for Counterintelligence Program. It's a CIA style covert action, infiltration, psychological warfare, and legal harassment. J. Edgar Hoover's directive at the command of the president. The purpose of this new counterintelligence endeavor is to expose, disrupt, and misdirect, discredit, or otherwise neutralize the activities of Black nationalist hate-type organizations and groupings, their leadership, spokesmen, membership, and supporters. Their leadership, spokesmen, and supporters. To all of you asking how you can support me financially, I do have my Cash App information up there. My Cash App definitely isn't working. Is working. So there's no issue with mine. You might want to check again. All of my avenues of promotion that you guys can help to support is up there. I have my PayPal up there, PayPal zionlex@gmail.com. I also have my Cash App up there. And I definitely ask the family to continue to support, because once again, the information that is coming here is powerful for us. And if we can't support those people around us, if we can't support those people among us that provide for us a means of helping to liberate the mind, then I'm not sure what we're really doing when we speak of this word called support. Because there was no Black organization that did not receive the physical, intellectual, spiritual, and even financial support of the people. That is how an organization grows. All of those components must be necessary. You want the people who are well endowed, well equipped, and well skilled to affect the minds of the people, to galvanize the people, we have to be able to support those people. We have to be able to support those people. I know to some people I'm speaking to a brick wall, whereas to others I know you will support. And to those who will support, I am grateful to you. Thank you very much. The FBI began COINTELPRO in 1956 to disrupt the activities of the Communist Party of the United States. In the 1960s, it was expanded to include a number of other domestic groups, such as the Ku Klux Klan, the Socialist Workers' Party, and the Black Panther Party. All COINTELPRO operations were ended in 1971. COINTELPRO was later rightfully criticized by Congress and the American people for abridging First Amendment rights and for other regions. And by the way, this comes out of the FBI vault. This quote comes directly from the FBI vault. The Federal Bureau of Investigation was created first to attack Marcus Garvey. Y'all don't hear me. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, was created first to attack Marcus Garvey. Before then, it was simply known as the Bureau of Investigation. But where J. Edgar Hoover was, he had no legal means of coming for Garvey all the way in Harlem. So he needed more power, more authority, more sway. So he goes and confronts the necessary powers, and they federalize the Bureau of Investigation. They federalize the Bureau of Investigation, and it now becomes known as the Federal Bureau of Investigation. And now they can chase you all over the United States. And now they can implement all types of machinations. And now they can pursue you without relent or unrelentingly, relentlessly. J. Edgar Hoover made the front cover of a paper one year with these words, "Marcus Garvey must go," and the caption read, "4 of the greatest Negro meetings ever held in New York were all on Sundays, August 6th, August 13th, August 20th, and August 27th. These were meetings held by Marcus Garvey in Harlem, New York." You need to know that. The first Black FBI special agent, his first assignment was to rat on the actions of the Universal Negro Improvement Association, the UNIA, and Marcus Garvey. It's funny, right? Rose said, COINTELPRO, it's funny, got rid of all the Black liberation movements and groups, but the KKK is still around. And you know why, Rose? And I know you know why. Because COINTELPRO is a branch of the KKK. Because the FBI is a branch of the KKK. Because the CIA is a branch of the KKK. And to be very clear, what I mean by when I say they are a branch, all of those organizations, all of those government agencies are a branch of the KKK, because many high authorities in the KKK work in those spheres of government. Even though they put themselves on a list, they never actually really go after themselves. Notice that the first Black FBI special agent, his first assignment was to take down his own. Treason, no matter what country you go to, is a capital punishment. Treason, no matter what country you go to, is punishable by capital punishment. Coming is a time when those Black people among us who speak vehemently and disgustingly and disparagingly about other Black organizations, coming is a time where you will receive the judgment of treason. And that is not a threat, because who am I But one thing I know is that prophecy don't hit the ground. And one thing I know is that karma never fails. So coming is a time where all of those among us who are and who pose a threat to our liberation, coming is a time where you will be dealt with the same punishment of treason. FBI chief calls Martin Luther King the most notorious liar in the country. What are we establishing? COINTELPRO, its purpose, aim, and goal is to take down those black liberators. What was Martin Luther King fighting for? Equal rights, not superiority. What was the overall tone of Martin Luther King? Peace. But why was he a threat? Because he still spoke about liberating the minds of the people. And that's the threat. The threat is not you receiving an equal wage. The threat is not you being able to come to their restaurants, because now many black people are getting equal wages. In fact, many black people make a lot more money than a lot of white people in various junctions in society. That's not the threat. The threat is when you begin to liberate your mind. So they told Nick Cannon, you can't say that no more. The threat is when you liberate your mind. So they tell our black athletes, if you take a knee, we're going to take you to jail. The threat is your mind. So they tell our black entertainers, keep cooning and buffooning, but the moment you step up and voice liberation, we will take away everything we gave you. Because the real threat for white America is that moment in time when black America realized that they are valued and kissed by God. The real threat of white America is the moment that black America realizes that they are valued and God-kissed. When you realize that you are called and chosen, oh, they know who you are. When you realize that you are the elect, that's the threat. The COINTELPRO infiltration program was so successful that there's even a book entitled A Spy in Canaan. The FBI used a famous black photographer to infiltrate black organizations. So you are a member of a black organization, and your organization is becoming more popular. You're attracting more attention from the media, attention that you want. Because every time the media publishes your acts, you gain new followers. So that is a brilliant cue for COINTELPRO to come in. Because all of the people holding cameras, taking pictures or video, are not there to highlight your achievements. They're not even always there to misrepresent you. Sometimes they're there to report on you. Because they're taking pictures, and some of your members are never on camera. They're taking video footage, and some of your members are not on video. You better be careful, my people, because there is wisdom in Babylon. You better be careful, my people, because there is wisdom in Babylon. And Babylon uses their wisdom to destroy you. Now, let me ask you this question. And I don't want to start no trouble, but I want to speak to the people. Who are those among us today who you think are on the list? Who are on the list? Tell me what black voice, what black mind, what black man or black woman that speaks ideas of liberation could possibly be on their list. Why do I ask that? Don't let them fool you that COINTELPRO was dissolved in 1971. Don't let them fool you that COINTELPRO no longer exists. They don't take away white organizations designed to tear down black organizations, they reinvent them. They don't take away white organizations designed to destroy black organizations. They reinvent them and reinstate them. Don't get it twisted. Who's on the list, family? Who do you think is on the list? And when I say on the list, I'm saying what black man or black woman is so powerful and dear to us that white America could possibly be watching them right now? Who you think could be on that list? What black man or woman do we have anywhere in the African diaspora do you think black people are worried about? I'm going to say they're definitely not worried about Al Sharpton, so I'm going to say you can scratch him from the list. I'm going to say they're definitely not worried about Jesse Jackson, so you should scratch him from the list. Al Sharpton is a known FBI informant. Do not forget that. Al Sharpton is a known FBI informant. And Messy Jesse, as messy as he could be, trust me when I tell you they're not worried about him, because he made sure he got the hell out of Dodge when them shots was fired at Martin Luther King. You know, real soldiers of the liberation, they don't run away from the shots, they run to the shots. You know, real soldiers of the liberation, they don't run away from the shots, they run to the shots. Messy Jesse ain't on their mind. Get out of here. Huh? What organizations of black men and women do you think the FBI and CIA are watchful of? And more importantly, come on, you think agents stopped infiltrating black organizations in 1971? Or do you know that there is no black organization today that does not have agent provocateurs among them right now? Let's talk about this beautiful black man, Fred Hampton. Fred Hampton, what a beautiful movie. Judas and the Black Messiah. Fred Hampton says, you can kill the revolution, but you can never kill the revolutionary. You can murder the freedom fighter, but you cannot murder freedom. This man is 21 years old saying this. Black men, how old are we? Huh? I'm 41. Huh? I'm 41. God willing, this year I turn 42. What are we using our bodies for? Lust and sex? What are we using our mind for, our words for? Soliciting lust and sex? Black man and woman, what the hell are we doing? Especially at the ages some of us are at. I put myself on the chopping block when I say Fred Hampton was 21 with the voice of an ancestor. Fred Hampton was 21 with the voice of the ancestors. Look at some of us. What are we doing with our able bodies, our able minds, and our voices? What the hell are we doing? On December 4th, 1969, Black Panther leaders Mark Clark and Fred Hampton were assassinated by the Chicago police. The assassinations were planned by the Chicago police and the FBI with the help of an infiltrator. With the help of an infiltrator. Black people, here's something we have not learned throughout history. Black people, here is something we have not learned throughout history. We are not taking heed to our own power. We are not understanding that God consciousness that operates within us. You don't know, black man, you don't know, black woman, that you are so powerful that the only person that can destroy you is you. You don't know, black man, you don't know, black woman, that you are so powerful that the only person that can destroy you is you or your own. Notice how all of the efforts of this government with the aim and agenda of taking us out and down is with the help and aid of our own. That's sickening. This man is 21 years old when this picture is taken. You don't think that he could have been engulfed in what was brewing in the late 60s and early 70s? You don't think that there were other things that he could have been into? Fred Hampton hails from Chicago. Do you know, are you aware of how many black street gangs there were in Chicago in his time? But Fred Hampton is not the average man. But Fred Hampton is not a simple man. Fred Hampton had liberation on his mind, man. You can jail a revolutionary, but you can't jail the revolution. You can murder a liberator, but you can't murder liberation. December 4th, 1969. Black Panther Party leader, Chairman Fred Hampton. I think you missed my point, Still I Rise, because when I say we are so powerful that our biggest enemy and the only person that can really take us down is us, that don't mean that white people don't aid in that. So please don't misconstrue what I'm saying, because I'm definitely not even suggesting what you just said. There's no need to emphasize that white supremacy is our enemy. That's as clear as day. That's a given. And the problem with why we are so much destroyed from within is because we overemphasize white supremacy being the enemy, forgetting that these weak Negroes among us need to have a watchful eye on them too. So yes, I'm focusing on us because it's redundant and common sense that white supremacy is the enemy. But we keep losing lives because we keep forgetting it's these weak, no backbone Negroes among us that usually wind up taking us down. Put some fire emojis in the room for the acting of Daniel Kaluuya. Put some fire emojis in the room for Daniel Kaluuya. Did he not play that role? Did he not play that role? Huh? Did not Daniel Kaluuya play that role powerfully? Talk to me. Talk to me. I'm going to ask the family once again to show your support. Show your support. Please, family, show your support. Thumb up the video, share the live. Thumb up the video, share the live. Family, we got to be able to support our own. It's bad when we can't get support from our own people, family. Thumb up the video, share the live, and show some support. Show some support, family. It's not easy to be up here and do this. Sacrifice all this time, energy. Please show your support, family. Please show your support. You see the Cash App up there and the PayPal is up there. Please show your support. Once again, throw some fire emojis in the room for the acting of Daniel Kaluuya. Keep in mind, family, Daniel Kaluuya is from the UK. If you go on YouTube and you listen to his interviews, he speaks with his natural British accent. Now put yourself back in this movie, Judas and the Black Messiah, and listen to the voice of this man. And notice, take heed, that you can't even tell he's from the UK. He's a hell of an actor. Give it up for our brother, Daniel Kaluuya. Put some fire emojis in the room. Because I'm sure after watching this movie, even though I know liberation is on your heart already, I'm sure he put an extra double A battery in your back. I'm sure he put a C battery in your back. I'm sure he put a D battery in your back. And because I'm from New York, I have to end that with pause. No, because I'm from New York, I have to end that with pause when I say he put a D battery in your back. Pause. Oh, man. Let's talk about this guy right here. Let's talk about this guy right here. Oh, man. Lakeith Stanfield played such an amazing role. But family, what you got to know, this is a hard role to play, man. Because black people going to be pissed with him when they run into him in the streets. Y'all ever seen that video online of Tariq from Power where he's not acting, but he's in an elevator and a regular everyday guy see him in the elevator and he starts sucking his teeth and making all kind of faces, grimacing, and Tariq said, "Yo, my man, you okay?" And he said, "Yo, Tariq, I know it's you, man. What's wrong with you?" And he's like, "What?" And he's like, "I shall whoop your ass right now." And he's like, "Yo, dude, it's just a movie." "It's not a movie, Tariq. It's not a movie." They was pissed. He was ready to pull. He told him, in fact, he said, "I'm going to take my belt off and whoop you in the elevator right now." Bruh, it's just a series. It's just a movie. Our people take things too serious. As powerful as Lakeith Stan was, family, please don't run up on our brother the wrong way. Don't run up on our brother the wrong way. Remember, he was just acting. Remember, family, he was just acting. The guy you really want to run up on is this man that he was playing. Agent Provocateur, William O'Neill. That's who you really want to run up on. And they say he committed suicide 11 hours after his Like It Is interview, where he went on record on video to speak about his involvement as an FBI informant. 11 hours later, the news report that he committed suicide. How ironic that the very day, 11 hours later, after he goes public on Gil Noble's talk show Like It Is to state, for the record, his involvement as an FBI informant, and for the first time releasing details on camera that the FBI only records on paper. 11 hours later, they report he committed suicide. Well, while I doubt he committed suicide, one thing I know, even though we may sleep, God is always up. That's all I'm going to say about that. Let's talk about this word, agent provocateur. A person who induces others to break the law so that they can be convicted. A person who induces others to break the law so that they can be convicted. Somebody employed to gain the trust of suspects and then tempt them to do something illegal so that they can be arrested and punished. By the way, by the letter of the law, that's also called entrapment. By the way, by the letter of the law, that's also called entrapment. Don't you know Freeway Ricky Ross became the biggest drug dealer among black people? You make sure you add that when you speak of him, because he's not the biggest drug dealer. Freeway Ricky Ross don't fly cocaine into the country. Freeway Ricky Ross is not responsible for the transportation of huge pounds of drugs into the country. He is a low-level criminal in comparison to the real drug dealers who are usually working with the CIA and the government. And yes, I can say that because we know that since it was revealed through Oliver North and Ronald Reagan that the CIA was heavily involved with the distribution of crack cocaine on the streets of all the major urban cities across America from the 70s to the 80s to the 90s till right now, till this day. Man, to this day. Agent provocateur, a person who secretly disrupts a group's activities from within, a group's activities, an instigator, a troublemaker. An agent provocateur is not just somebody that tries to gain membership in an organization and persuade various members to do crimes. An agent provocateur is also an instigator, always bringing up matters concerning Black liberation groups, always coming for Black liberation groups, always having something to say about Black liberation groups, always talking against Black liberation groups. They're known as troublemakers in the community, to which at this point I ask you, because it's obvious, and I'm not going to say it, but I'll let you be the voice. Who would fit that bill today in the conscious community? Talk to me. Who would fit that bill today in the conscious community? Talk to me. The people who have something to say about every Black liberation group, who are those people? The people who attack Black liberation groups and are themselves Black, who are those people? Because we have agent provocateurs among us right now, and many of you patron them, many of you follow and watch them, all the while they are agent provocateurs, they are troublemakers, they are instigators, disrupting all elements of Black liberation groups. And some of you send them money, and some of you are subscribed to them, and some of you give precious minutes and moments and hours out of your day to watch them talk disparagingly about Black liberation groups. You have a guy that calls himself Garfield. You have a guy that calls himself Garfield. He says that his organization is called the Dagger Squad. For this month, the month of Black History Month, he says that he is going to invite 20 scholars for 20 days in commemoration of Black History Month. So far, the overwhelming majority of the scholars he has invited are white scholars. 97% of the scholars he has invited on his channel for Black History Month are white scholars that he invites to destroy Black liberation's movements and ideas of spirituality. You know, the Black Hebrew Israelites. This guy has invited 97% of white scholarship to attack the spiritual and or religious views of a group of people known as the Hebrew Israelites. Yet you telling me that you don't know what an agent provocateur is when you see one. Yet you telling me you don't know what a troublemaker is when you see one. But I'm telling you right now, any Black man or woman that goes on a rant and attacks all elements of the Black liberation movement, they got videos attacking the Moors. They got videos attacking the Hebrews. They got videos attacking Black Christians. They got videos attacking all elements of Black spirituality and Black liberation movements. All the while, they ain't about shit. All the while, they're not about nothing. But we keep giving them a run because we keep paying them attention. We keep giving them a run because we keep paying them attention. You're not an agent provocateur because the FBI handed you a check. Sometimes you such a Judas, you'll do it without the 30 pieces of silver. Sometimes you such a Judas, you got so much self-hate that you'll take your people down without the 30 pieces of silver. So don't you think that everyone that has to be an agent provocateur has to directly work for the FBI. Because I tell you right now, anybody who is doing the work of the FBI, attacking black liberation groups, anybody who is doing the work of the CIA, attacking black religious groups, they are in fact agent provocateurs, with or without the check. This is William O'Neill. This is William O'Neill. This is the man who Lakeith Stanfield plays in Judas and the Black Messiah. This is the man that's Lakeith Stanfield plays in Judas and the Black Messiah. This is the real man. He gives an interview, his last interview ever, his last words, as we know, ever, with Gil Noble of Like It Is. And he sits down with Gil Noble and he speaks in depth about his work with the FBI as an FBI informant. He speaks about his role in the takedown of the Black Panther Party. He speaks in his role in the assassination of Fred Hampton. And many of the things that he says, we have black people among us who are doing right now. Many of the things that he says he does to dismantle the Black Panther Party, we have black people among us doing the same thing right now. And some of you are on their channels, smiling it up with them, all the while they are behaving as agent provocateurs. To which I ask you in the lingo of today, how, Sway? This is an official FBI document that was released, so it's public information. I want you to listen to this. I'm going to read it. It's dated 4/27/70 or April 27, 1970. It's headed as coming from the director of the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover, counterintelligence program, black nationalist hate groups, racial intelligence, Black Panther Party. The Bureau requests authority to forward a letter from a fictitious person to Hollywood, California, gossip columnists, to publicize the pregnancy of Jean Sheberg, a well-known white movie actress, by, and this black man's name is blotted out, to possibly cause her embarrassment and tarnish her image with the general public. Information from, and the black man's name is crossed out, indicated that Sperg was 4 months pregnant by whoever this black man is. The FBI documents, which are official public records today, about many of the occurrences of COINTELPRO, demonstrate how they would literally lie to get indictments. They would literally lie to bring people to jail. They would literally lie and make things up to bring people to justice. They would lie to dismantle black liberation organizations and black liberation freedom fighters. The greatest threat to black liberation will come from within the ranks of the black liberation movement. Some of y'all so focused on white America's involvement. Some of y'all so focused on what Esau, who y'all say is white, and I'm out to lunch on that. I think y'all crazy, but I'm not even going to deal with that now. But some of y'all are so focused with white America's involvement in our demise that you lose sight of one historical fact. that you lose sight of one historical fact. No matter what enemy Israel faced, no matter what enemy Israel faced, either Israel, the collective nation, was the cause of its destruction, or someone within the nation took down one of our amazing leaders. While you want to focus on white America, while you want to focus on white supremacy's involvement, you better go back and look at the historical record, because the demise of the children of Israel is always insidious. The demise of black liberation is always from within. You keep focusing on white supremacy. You keep focusing on white people, and you're going to lose sight of the fact that we got black devils among us who love the idea of white supremacy because they hate themselves, and they are willing to put in more work than the white man to take you down. What's sick about this, and the reason why I chose to put this particular picture up, is because it is said that William O'Neill, and I'm not sure how true it is, I don't know, I wasn't there, but it has been said that William O'Neill, the FBI informant who wrote down the floor plan of the home that the FBI and Chicago PD raided and murdered the Black Panther Party chairman, Fred Hampton, it is said that William O'Neill attended the funeral. And here is what I want to say to you. Some of you are so bent on solely looking at white supremacy. Some of you are so bent, are only looking at the role of white America in our demise, that y'all going to wind up being that person where the person who's really responsible for your death is a black man that's going to actually show up to your funeral and tell your family he had all kinds of love for you. This is an original picture. This is the bed that Fred Hampton was sleeping on. And that's the blood splatter and the remaining blood on the mattress. I want you to look at the wall. The Black Panthers fired one shot. The police fired 99 bullets. The Black Panthers fired one shot. The police fired 99 bullets. One thing is for sure about black liberation fighters. One way or another, you will go to the cross. One way or another, you will carry the cross. One way or another, you will be crucified. You will either be crucified through the public eye and scrutiny, through verbal destruction. Our people will verbally crucify you, or our people will be responsible for your death in some way, somehow, your crucifixion. That seemingly is some unwritten promise to every true person of the Black liberation movement. There are two things that are possibly inevitable for you. You will be publicly slandered and crucified, mainly by your own, and you may perhaps even be murdered by your own. Saying that to say, make sure you about this life. And if it's not for you, then it's not for you. But make sure you about this life, because two things are almost guaranteed: the public slander, or possibly somebody coming for your life. So make sure you really about this life if you say you're about Black liberation. And if you're about Black liberation, so what? If you're about Black liberation, so what? These are the pigs. And I don't say pigs because I regard all police officers as pigs. I know some police officers. Oh, he that black guy that say, I know 3 cops, so I'm cool with them. Nah, but I know some police officers. But I know for a fact, not every police officer is a pig. I know that because I actually know some personally. And I know some personally that don't put up with their white officers moving funny in these streets. I know black police officers that have been written up because of the stance they take when their white fellow officers try to get rough and rugged with our own. So I know not all police officers are pigs. But what I do know is that right now on this screen, I'm looking at some pigs. Because you got to be a pig to be carrying the body of a man that was sleeping, who you just pumped almost 100 bullets his way, and you actually walk out with smiles on your face. Look at the smiles on the faces of these beasts. Look at the faces. Look at this one right here. He thinks, look at his face. This is a trophy moment for him. Look at his face. This is a trophy moment for him. William O'Neal infiltrated the Black Panther Party, and the final slap on the face with all that he did, with all that he was paid, the day that he delivered up Fred Hampton and gave the FBI the floor plan that allowed them to raid the apartment and the home that Fred Hampton was in. The bonus that he received was $300, which in his day was equivalent to a couple weeks worth of pay. There's something eerily scary about that. I'm going to say it again. William O'Neal, the FBI informant responsible for the infiltration of the Black Panthers, who set up Fred Hampton to be assassinated and murdered by the FBI and the Chicago Police Department. As a bonus for helping in the murder and assassination of Chairman Fred Hampton, they gave him $300, which in that year was equivalent to a couple's weeks worth of pay, which I have to say to you is eerily scary. Because in the New Testament, there's a guy by the name of Judas Iscariot who delivers up a black man by the name of Jesus to the Romans, white people. And he receives 30 pieces of silver, which in his time is equivalent to a couple weeks worth of money. And this is why the FBI began to refer to William O'Neal as Judas. This is why even the FBI began to refer to William O'Neal, their FBI informant, as Judas, because the $300 bonus they gave him for the successful assassination on Fred Hampton's life is equivalent to a couple weeks worth of pay, which would make him one and the same with Judas, who received 30 pieces of silver for a couple weeks worth of pay to murder, to assist in the murder and takedown of his brother. Moreover, an entire movement. You guys can feel very free to call in. The call-in number is on the screen. The call-in number is on the screen, family. I'm going to ask everyone to please show your support. Please show your support. Do this. Please show your support. A lot of information came out A lot of information came out. I'm going to allow you guys to call in. Call in and speak your truth. Call in and speak your truth. I want to talk to you. Call in and speak your truth. We want to hear from you. The number is on the screen. The number is posted on the screen. I'm going to ask everyone who hasn't supported financially to please support the platform. It is not easy to do this, especially consistently. Please do not leave without supporting the platform. Do not leave without supporting the platform. It's a shame in our community if we cannot support our own. Please do not leave without supporting the platform. Show me your support. I show you my time. Please show me your support, family. That's all that I ask. Show me your support. I understand that everybody may not have it, so you can support me by sharing the video on all of your social media platforms. You can join my classes. That's support. You can join our Patreon at only $5 a month. That's support. Or you can support me live right now via PayPal, zionlex@gmail.com, or Cash App. Via PayPal at zionlex@gmail.com or Cash App. What a day. What a day when a couple weeks worth of play is sufficient to turn in our brother and uproot the movement and stagnate the liberation. There's no amount of money possible to replace the idea of pursuing liberation. There's no amount of money possible to assist in killing our attempt at liberation. This is a sickness among us. This is a sickness among us. William O'Neill receives 30 pieces of silver and becomes the resurrection of Judas Iscariot. William O'Neill receives 30 pieces of silver and becomes the resurrection of Judas Iscariot. Thumb up the video, family. Those who are still here, thumb up the video. And please, family, show your support by supporting the platform. Show your support by supporting the platform. Show your support, family. Show your support. And call in. Call in, family. Call in on the live. I want to hear from you. Call in on the live. I want to hear from you. What do you guys think about the movie? What do you guys think about the movie? Judas and the Black Messiah. What do you guys think about the movie? Judas and the Black Messiah. Call in, family. Call in. If you guys enjoyed this lecture, this review on the movie, put some fire emojis in the room. If you guys enjoyed this lecture and this review on the movie, put some fire emojis in the room. Put some fire emojis in the room, family. Put some fire emojis in the room. Show your support, family. Show your support. You could donate as low as $5. Show your support. Show your support, family. The Cash App is up there. The PayPal is up there. Show your support. Let me see. Let me make sure that it's going through. Let me make sure that it's going through. Make sure you guys are able to call. All right. All right, guys, you could call again. If anybody call again. If anybody call, you could call again. If you tried to call again. All right, caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name. Tell us what city you're calling from, and say what you want to say to the audience.
Shalom, shalom. Hey, good night. Airtone here in Dimona, Israel.
Shalom, shalom, all the way in Dimona, Israel. Shalom to you.
You just touched so close to my home for several reasons, my brother. First of all, my name is Amalia, and I'm a part of the Hebrew Israelites in Dimona. We're neighbor to your close comrade, Amadiel, Minister Amadiel Ben Yehuda.
Yes.
You know us, right? Now, Fred Hampton was assassinated on my birthday. My birthday was December the 4th. I was maybe, what year was that? 1965?
Uh-huh.
I was 12. I'm born and raised in Chicago. And like you, my brother, my firstborn son, his name is same name as you. In Hebrew, we call it Sion. It's Sion in Hebrew. Zion.
Yes.
So we have quite an alignment here, right? And I just wanted to thank you. Thank you for bringing this to the light for the masses of our people. The things that you have done to share, to bring forward the concept of Judas. And for a mere pittance, he said a couple weeks worth of money is what was given up in an attempt to stop what prophecy had already set in motion. So this is a sobering moment, a very, very heartfelt historical reality that is being brought to the fore by you and by life to you in this day and age. It's very, very, very important. Our people have to know the truth. And the suffering that has taken place, of course, the direction that we're going, the work that we're doing, the truth is being told. The suffering is going to come to an end. We here continue in the interest of our God and our people, and we have done so. For those of us, that it wasn't me personally that back in 1966, 1967 was the vision of the enemy. But There are brothers and sisters whose shoulders, enough is enough. And the movement had to be done. And fortunately, we've been able to birth and raise and continue spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, a people who said, my peace, enough is enough. It is time for us to take the matters and bring it in, do the will of Yah. Return to the interest of the creation and all of its byproducts. So we can live. We're put here to live, and to live in peace and harmony. Living is peace and harmony. Other than that, it's not living. So again, I've listened to you. I haven't heard the full live this evening. I've heard you fully live on other occasions. Enter Connect Joe, you and the sister.
Yes.
Did a masterful job on that.
Thank you so much.
Masterful. So I look forward to more and more dialogue. My brothers and sisters, you gotta listen. You gotta listen. Too much is at stake. Don't turn it in for a wooden nickel. You know, love your brother and your sister. Raise them up. Raise them up. Everybody can easily condemn another. But look into their hearts and their soul for that goodness. I'm not talking about this an evil spirit, but I'm talking about somebody that is, headed in the right direction, maybe to make a hiccup or something. Lift them on up. Let's lift each other up, unify together, put us all together. Eden is ours, after is ours, after is Eden. Let's do this aggressively, willfully, purposefully, and let's raise up your own less. I ain't less. My beautiful brother can take care of the business. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much, my sister. I truly, truly appreciate that. If you can, as you're going, what time is it in Israel right now?
Right now, it's just about 10 minutes after 11.
Wow.
We're coming to the close of the day. Yeah, it's still early.
Wow.
We sometimes close, but we never close.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you so much for your support all the way from Israel. We hear you loud and clear. Thank you so very much, sister. Have a great evening, all right?
Definitely. I have even a greater one when I know that my people make a commitment to come on over here. Come on over here, get to home, base, the continent. It's yours. Enjoy, live, get to know yourself, get to know your neighbors. We're here. I work in public relations, guest relations, etc. So you got my number now. I think.
Okay.
Give it to 'em. Anybody want to know it? Give it to them. Tell them to reach out to me. I'm on WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, Telegram, LinkedIn. Come on.
I would love to come to Israel. So we definitely got to speak behind the scenes because I would love to come to Israel.
The door is open, my brother.
All right.
Forward.
All right. Thank you so much.
Ever. You're welcome. Keep up the good work.
All right. Shalom. All right, family. Call in, guys. Call in so we can wrap this up. Call in so we can wrap this up and you guys could enjoy the rest of your evening. To everyone who is still here, I'm still going to ask you guys to thumb up the video and share the live. Still going to ask you to thumb up the video, guys, and share the live stream. Thumb up the video and share the live. It's definitely not easy to do what we do. thumb up the video and share it live. And if you haven't supported the platform, please don't leave without supporting the platform. Don't do that. Don't let the other platforms outdo us in terms of support. And this is no shade to any platform, but I'm speaking to our people as Israelites, as Hebrews. Don't let any platform outdo us in supporting our own. Don't let that happen. So please show your love, show your support. Show your love, show your support. Waiting to see if anybody else is going to call in. If nobody else calls in, we're going to wrap it up. If nobody else calls in, we're going to wrap it up. It's been a powerful discussion so far. I know I truly enjoyed it. I know I truly enjoyed it. All right.